The RIAI is delighted to present the 2024 award winners. We received an impressive 180 entries designed by RIAI registered architects, with 42 projects shortlisted by the jury. The quality of the submissions was exceptional and demonstrates the value that Irish architects are adding to all aspects of Ireland's cultural, economic and social infrastructure. We hope you enjoy the results, following an address by RIAI President Sean Mahan.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the RIAI Awards for 2024. The RIAI is the home of architecture in Ireland, and our annual awards highlight the value that good design brings to every aspect of our daily lives, from our homes to our workplaces and from our public spaces to our community buildings. The exceptional quality of our entries this year underscores the significant contribution that Irish architects are making to our built environment. Whether located in small towns or large cities, every project showcases the commitment to design quality, innovation, sustainability and the awards are also a celebration of the collaboration between architects and our clients. It is wonderful to see so many great examples this year of our public and private clients providing leadership in the adaptation and reuse of existing buildings, an essential element in our response to the climate challenge. Thank you again to all of our participants. Your commitment to creating quality places and spaces for people is evident in all of the shortlisted entries. I hope you enjoy the RIAI Awards for 2024.
This conversion of a disused grain store into a public library in Kinsale is a great example of how good design can energise a community and become a focal point for local interaction. This contemporary intervention, using different forms of timber construction inside the old shell of the building, is very successfully handled, and the brave insertion of a landscape window in the gable demonstrates a confidence and sensitivity. This project should act as an exemplar of how reuse and adaptation can be exciting as well as sustainable. The restoration and repair of number 14 Clarendon Street has brought a dilapidated and partially derelict historical building into active residential and commercial use in the bustling Dublin streetscape. The success of this project is the careful process of restoration and repair informed by specialist craftsmen and tradespersons. The architect, design team and contractors considered the important historic fabric and building regulatory compliance issues. In particular, the significant design challenges posed by the fire safety design for an original 18th century single stair and decorative panelled enclosure was successfully overcome. Colour was boldly used to enhance the spatial experience. The architect lived in this urban terraced house for many years before completing the works. This in-depth knowledge of the property forms the basis of a beautifully considered extension and renovation. The skilled care and attention to detail maximises the available space, cleverly utilising every corner of the tight plan. The choice of materials is measured using a complementary palette of textures and colours. The house is generously illuminated with roof lights, large windows and a central light well, which effectively draws light and landscaping into the depth of the plan. When the glazed doors of this space are all open, the external air and ambience permeates the interior, creating a very special place. Barney's Ruins is a home where the client is also the architect. This has allowed the exploration of a built alternative to often oversized one-off rural houses, a manifesto encouraging sustainable thinking and working with the landscape. Powered by an adjacent wind turbine, the house is energy self-sufficient. The modest scale of the new matches the vernacular rooms. Conserved rubble stone walls are given new purpose as garden enclosure, screening for services, and part rehabilitation as guest accommodation. The shipping container house, as refined as a yacht, is both a nocturnal beacon and a gazebo overlooking the site. The tiny guest room is an exemplar of contemporary vernacular construction. As with all traditional settlements, external space forms part of the accommodation and is integral to surrounding farmland. Outdoor cowboy baths double as cattle troughs. The cantilevered container, recalling early byre dwellings, provides shelter for cattle beneath. Simple, coherent, and fun. This project is the confluence of a good architect and a good client working seamlessly together to create a modest but beautiful home. The project, through the making of a carefully judged addition of a mere 3 square meters to the rear and some minor internal alterations, transforms the house entirely. The brave use of colour to the interior finishes is a delight. Ultimately, the rear tiny addition is beautifully crafted and a model of good design, illustrating that a small and well-considered extension can deliver big. This design approach is an exemplar in providing a beautiful home while improving the public realm. The original, poorly constructed house on this site blocked sea views from the street. The new home is located below road level, revealing a new panorama for all. The brave choice of pigmented concrete for the external walls is beautifully detailed, the pinkish hues chosen to match the local Dalkey granite. The site slopes to the north, facing the views, presenting a challenge for illuminating the internal spaces naturally. This is dealt with very successfully with courtyards and sunken gardens, achieving an impressive dual aspect space for the main living space. There is a simplicity of materials throughout, with rigour of detailing that remains restrained but not austere. A timeless piece sitting beautifully in its landscape. client brief was to redevelop their underutilised site as rectory, parish centre and higher density rental accommodation. Enabled by a strong architect and client relationship, the form has provided positive change to the street, the setting of Holy Trinity Church and the parish community. The new rectory is traditional in concept. Public rooms within the house serve both the community and the rector's family. Overlapping use of space continues outside, providing a flexible resource for residents, emphasised by high-quality landscaping. The rental accommodation is well laid out. Excellent levels of space and privacy are achieved additional to relative high occupancy. A carefully selected palette of good quality materials is used, with a level of refinement unusual in rental housing. This is a generous and deceptively simple project, an exemplar for urban housing elsewhere. If the measure of success of a housing scheme is its ability to enhance the living experience of its residents, then Wilkinson's Brook is likely to lead the way. Narrow roads make for human-scale places, and this scheme offers that by putting the cars and carports behind railings. Roads are terminated visually, and angles are utilised to create vistas that are ever-changing. There is no sense of being in an homogeneous housing development, although there is a consistent and robust treatment to all the houses. The architecture has a real rhythm to it, with 2- and 3-storey units separated by first-floor terraces. Many small details are delightful, such as the entrance porches which contain a small seat. The delight is carried through to the interior also, such as in the entrance hall. This is an outstanding piece of architecture and urban design. This project delivers a dense and high-quality residential scheme on a difficult urban site with an apparent effortless ease. A well-considered site plan sets up 2 narrow blocks where shallow, linear apartment units are provided which both feel spacious and naturally bright. Innovation abounds, from window separation distances, clever fire strategies and flood defences, to well-detailed prefabricated elements of the construction. Careful consideration is given to brick detailing and facade maintenance, all assisted by the formation of high-quality internal and external communal spaces. Cornamona possesses a robust quality that typically characterises public housing, but also demonstrates how some carefully considered decisions can elevate a scheme beyond its own constraints. The design contains a multitude of small generosities that were no doubt hard won, from a different colour brick and a small change in relief on the facade, to the depth of the window reveals, the proportions of the brick columns, and the internal finishes of the stairwells. The street-facing facade works in both the 4- and 5-storey blocks and successfully combines the urban elegance of the upper-storey loggias with the more domestic charm of the ground-floor townhouses. The deck access brings life to the urban edge, while privacy and separation are managed through deep planters and raised and recessed entrances. The site layout plan creates a central amenity space that is overlooked by balconies which enjoy midday and evening sunlight. This housing project answers the needs of its community while making a sophisticated contribution to the city. This innovative school design is a sympathetic architectural solution offering a myriad of sea views to the school community as the coastal landscape is captured as part of the teaching environment for the students. The contemporary four-storey insertion and the consolidation within a constrained site harnesses the potential of the site while successfully reusing the existing structures. The significant deep retrofit of the 1950s and 1970s school building elements and the enhanced biodiversity on the site demonstrate that all areas of the project are well considered. There is a delight and pride within the community for the successfully renovated school. The Rock Wing at the Mater Hospital presents a quality design solution meeting the client's requirement of 5,000 additional patients annually. The national COVID response prompted demanding timeframes for the delivery of the project. The new hospital entrance is set back along the Georgian setting of Eccles Street, providing an enhanced public realm for the community. The success of the highly functioning environment of the medical building was borne out by client testimonials. The pre-assembled components contributed to expediencies within the project programme. The design response demonstrates an exemplar, highly serviced and coordinated solution. This is an exemplar of a deep retrofit refurbishment where a new central atrium was inserted into a 1970s office building. This atrium provides natural ventilation and daylight and gives a dynamic new circulation space which incorporates casual meeting areas. The office areas are distributed around the perimeter, with cellular areas having fully glazed walls and colour-coded service zones in the central core, all with finely detailed timber panelling. The lowest level provides a conference suite, which flows freely from a conference room and meeting rooms through canteen and culminating in a secure and sunny courtyard. Colours and materials are well considered throughout, with subtle lighting in the existing coffered ceiling. Addressing the shared facilities of an existing business park, this project focused on upgrading the public realm and rediscovering the natural beauty of the setting. In the reworked central space, a timber and glass canopy, which floats over a tiered garden of cascading planters, covers a new pedestrian route, transforms the point of arrival and creates a new meeting place. An enhanced nature-based embankment walk provides new paths around existing trees and is supplemented by planting, attractive seating and low lighting. Inserted in this natural setting and within the tree canopy are futuristic meeting pods on stilts. Accessed by walkways, organised around a central pond feature, these innovative multi-purpose spaces can be booked as breakout spaces to the office buildings. The enhancement of the public realm and office park experience has been transformative for all users, who benefit from the restorative qualities of natural landscaping and the opportunities for social interaction that the attractive surroundings present. This dense residential development successfully maximises the site potential, creates an urban sense of place and relates to its context, with views towards the Dublin Mountains and Dublin Bay. With several blocks rising from 6 to 18 stories, The varied building heights provide enclosure and wind protection while allowing sunlight penetration to well-landscaped public and private spaces. A public pedestrian route runs through the development, off which generous communal entrance lobbies and shared facilities are situated. High-quality recreational amenities are distributed throughout, with residents' living areas and balconies providing natural surveillance. The scale and proportion of the main frontage addresses the Lewis line comfortably in a restrained manner, with a terminating focal building, double-height ground floor entrance lobby and residence gym and creche looking onto the street. The architectural quality is commendable in terms of overall urban form, massing, elevational design, materials, detailing and landscaping. Department of the Environment, Climate and Communications Headquarters is an excellent example of a large-scale retrofit which has achieved great operational energy improvements from a C3 BER rating to an impressive A. The project demonstrates a 75% reduction in primary energy while retaining the existing structural frame and exterior facade. Thermal modelling diagrams show that thermal bridging has been significantly improved, and 97% of the construction waste was also recycled. This entry goes beyond the RIAI Climate Challenge targets and is an exemplary retrofit project for Ireland that can be applied to other buildings, making an important contribution to climate change action. This research establishes guidance for upgrading the energy performance of the public estate, whilst also preserving the material value of its historic building fabric. This method is informed by best international practice and through the development of case studies and feedback, lays the foundations for an evolving approach that is tailored to traditionally constructed buildings in Ireland. Measuring the current performance of historic building material challenges BER assessment default values. Post-occupancy research will provide further evidence for solutions that are more practical, energy efficient and cost effective. This research meets the demand for the state sector to take a lead in developing models that will have an application at every level of the industry and is thus both timely and exemplary. This pioneering research, focused on a historic area of Dublin, provides an exemplar of urban surgery or horticulture. It demonstrates how to infill and densify degraded or depleted urban blocks to create new neighbourhoods at the city scale. The urban design approach is transferable to other situations. The research worked with historical mapping to understand the evolution and cultural significance, the historic grain, architectural character and typologies, materiality and building tradition in the reimagining of the urban block. The project demonstrates how new urban dwellings can reference and complement the surviving historic fabric, whilst providing contemporary new homes and green spaces for city living. The stone vessel is delightful in all meanings of the word. It is a testament to making and a reminder of the origins of architecture, where architect and craftspeople worked hand in hand to make buildings. The workmanship is of an extraordinary quality, and the design, conceived by the architects and developed by Joseph Walsh's team, results in a structure that is intriguing. It is, in essence, a folly, existing not as something driven by meeting a functional need, but a celebration of the understanding that making and design are symbiotic activities.